Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make bouncy melodic beats like Wheezy for somebody like Young Thug. So I'm going to be cooking up a beat from scratch, and in this video, as usual, I'm going to go ahead and break down the sample that I made, but then I'm going to go ahead and lay some drums down on top of it. As usual, I'm going to go ahead and show my whole process, so hopefully you guys can learn something from it or get inspired in some way. But the sample that I'm going to be going over in this video is from a sample pack that I just dropped called Prism Volume 1. Sample pack has 20 samples in it that are kind of more melodic and ambient, kind of in the style of Wheezy or Palace or Q Beats. So yeah, I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description if you're interested in that. But don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright, so as you can see, I have the sample pulled up here, and the final sample is pitched down 3 semitones, so we end up being in D sharp minor. But everything that I make up here while I was making the sample is in F sharp minor. You pitch it down 3. If it's in D sharp, you go up 3 semitones, that's F sharp. Everything that we're going to be going over is F sharp, but just keep in mind that at the end I do pitch it down 3 semitones. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just play the sample so you can hear how it sounds, and then go ahead and break everything down. Yeah, as you guys can hear, really melodic, really bouncy. Sounds like something Wheezy would use. I can hear Young Thug on it for sure. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just break down everything I did and then put some drums on it. Alright, so like I said, we're in F sharp minor at 129 BPM. And the first thing that I did is I layered 2 different sounds. So I pulled up 2 different sounds from Analog Lab, and unfortunately I don't have the first sound because I think I deleted the Analog Lab because it was taking up so much CPU. So I ended up just rendering it out as an audio file. So I don't know the exact preset, but I do know it was a mallet from Analog Lab. So I came up with this pattern right here for the first sound. It was just a basic mallet, and I laid down this first chord right here where we started with the root note at F sharp, and then I broke that down into 2 notes for every bar. So as you can see, all the root notes or all the bass notes, they have 2 notes for every bar, and it just goes from F sharp to A, back down to F sharp, and then down to D. And I just copied that over, and then I pitched the root note up an octave. So we have this F sharp and then this F sharp right here. And for all these middle notes, I broke them down into 4 notes per bar. And for me, I think that that's what creates the bounce in the melody, is having the chords broken down into parts like that. And when I play what it sounds like, you'll be able to hear it. But like I said, I rendered it out as an audio file, so I'll go ahead and play how it sounds just by itself. Before I rendered it out, I added these effects right here. So I added halftime, and as you can see, I changed the preset. When you pull up halftime, normally it's at the 1 bar preset with the 2 times mode. So I went ahead and changed that to the quarter loop preset with the 1.5 times mode, and it just has a different feel. I added sketch cassette to add some wobble, I turned up the wow and the flutter, some Uber mod with this preset right here, this Wheezy synced reverse. It adds like a delay and a reverb to the sound. Then I added Echo Boy for a little bit of ape echo, some more reverb, and then I added an EQ to take out a lot of the highs and the lows. So I rendered that out, and then I layered it with another sound right here. And for this sound, I do have the preset. It's the Mallet's Dream preset from Analog Lab, and I'm gonna go ahead and just play how that sounds. It's the same exact pattern, I just copied it over with the same exact effects on it, and like I said, I just layered it. So here's what it sounds like. It kind of just sounds like a pad, and the reason for that is because I have this preset turned all the way up. This preset right here, it literally turns any sound into a pad pretty much. So yeah, like I said, I just have those 2 layered. So the next thing that I did is I added a lead. So I just grabbed this one shot right here from a random one shot kit. I pitched it up an octave, And then I made the envelope like this with the attack a little bit up, hold all the way up, and everything else all the way down. And I came up with this pattern right here. I'll go ahead and play it. So it's just a really catchy, repetitive top line melody. And for the second part, I just copied it over and pitched it up an octave and then turned down the velocity a little bit because it was kind of loud. And then for the effects, because I pitched it up an octave, I used a little altar boy to pitch it down, and it kind of gives it kind of a unique sound. It just sounds a little bit different. And right here I have halftime, and as you can see in the playlist, I have different parts where the halftime is all the way up or all the way down. So there's different parts in the melody where this lead right here is either half-timed or not. Then I have a preset from Portal, gravity preset from Portal. I added some reverb, and then I added a few EQs to take out some frequencies that I didn't want, and then I used Maximus to make it a little bit louder. The next thing that I did is I just added a little accent. So I found another one shot, and I didn't even control the envelope. I didn't really do much to it. I just brought it in. Really simple pattern. It just kind of adds like a background noise, like I said, like an accent, just to make the melody a little bit more interesting. So I'll go ahead and play what that sounds like. And I just copied that over. For the effects, I have a whole lot of nothing on that. I didn't do anything to it. I just left the one shot exactly how it was. Okay, so the last thing that I did is I added a bass. So again, I just used a one shot, and I made sure that the hold was all the way up, everything else was all the way down, made sure it was cutting, and then I just laid down this simple pattern right here following the root note. And then what I did is I just copied that same pattern over, and instead of going down right here, I just pitched that up an octave. Alright, so once I had all the sounds that I wanted, I just structured it out with different parts throughout the sample, with bass, without bass. I rendered that out as an audio file, brought it back in, pitched it down 3 semitones like I said. So we went from F sharp to D sharp, put it to its own mixer track, and I added a few effects. Virtual tape machine to kind of compress and add some tape effect. Fresh air to boost the mid highs and the highs. This plugin right here, Soothe 2, is really good for taking out unwanted frequencies, so I use it to just kind of take out some of the muddiness. And then I added an EQ to take out some specific frequencies that I didn't want in the sample. Then I added this texture right here. It's just a white noise texture. And then I went ahead and pitched down the bass from F sharp to D sharp. On the master, I just have a compressor and then Maximus to control the volume. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for the sample. Alright, so I have the sample pulled in, ready to put some drums on it. I have all the sounds ready. All the sounds are from my Slat drum kit. It has 2 different folders, my go-to drums, and then a folder for more unique drums. So I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description for that. But yeah, let's go ahead and lay down some drums. So that's pretty much it for the drums. Sound selection is key. You want to make sure you have high quality sounds to start with. Nothing too crazy though. The patterns themselves are really simple. I just have the intro right here with the bass, and then I have a hook right here, the verse, the pre-hook, and another hook, and then an outro. Yeah, it's usually how I structure my beats. Obviously I have my tag at the beginning. That's pretty much it for the drums. Nothing too crazy. Just have a soft clipper on the master. Everything else is pretty much just leveling, making sure the sounds are at a good level and the mix is clean. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys took something away from the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.